inevitable. But aging is really optional. How do we choose to spend our later years? Do we want to be stress-free, pain-free? Do we want to be able to enjoy our grandchildren? Be able to participate with them? Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and guests. Our current system seems to be a paint over rust system. You've got that little paint. You can either get a prescription from your doctor, or you can just get something over the counter. Is that what we want? The paint over rust program? Is there another way? Is there a way that we can activate our brains? Because what's happening with our prescription drugs, and by the way, it's only $100 million a day spent in Canada, daily, on prescription drugs. I didn't even talk about the over-the-counter drugs. Well, what does that do? It's enabled us to live longer. And then when we live longer, if we haven't looked after ourselves, dementia shows up and Alzheimer's. We didn't used to have those diseases, at least they weren't that recognizable in the past. People didn't live that long. How do you want to live? Well, I got a wake-up call one day. It wasn't exactly a wake-up call. It was a telephone call, and I was talking to my buddy, Tony Crabb, in Hawaii. He said, Vic, you want to go on a hike? Sure, yeah. I'm thinking maybe in Maui, where he lives in Hawaii. And I said, when? He said, oh, May, first weekend in May. And I go, oh, that's fine. It's giving me about 6 months, whatever that hike is. And I said, my next question, I know you might find this hard to believe that I ask questions in that order. When? And then I finally got to where. He said, oh, we fly into Madrid. We fly into Madrid? What are you talking about? Oh, he says, I've been reading this book on the Camino. I've been reading Shirley MacLaine's book on doing the Camino. I'm going, Shirley MacLaine, bit of a psychic weirdo. Okay, fine. So I start doing the reading on the Camino, and I start doing all the, and I'm going, wow. It's only been around for about 12 or 1,300 years. It's only an 800-kilometer hike across Spain. Whoa. And that's what turned my life around. And I was pretty fit before. But I found out about walking. And the importance of walking. You see, in fitness levels, we think, well, if walking's good, running would be better. Well, I better train for a marathon or a 10K. The answer is no. That is too stressful, and that's not going to do anything. In Doidge's book, The Healing Brain, he also wrote the book, The Brain That Changes Itself, talks a lot about neuroplasticity. He talks about, in his recent book, about the fellow that had Parkinson's disease in South Africa. And he was a member of the Parkinson's Disease Society, and he actually became president. And be darned if he didn't find with his wife, he started walking easily. Just walking every day. And he walked a little more. And he walked a little faster. He never ran. He never jogged. Reversed the symptoms of Parkinson's. What happened to him in the Parkinson's Society? They kicked him out. Well, he wrote a book. He wrote a book and said, he wrote the book and he said, well, you stay on your drugs if your doctor says, but he said, if you do this walking. So what Doidge is showing is you can rewire your brain. Is that exciting news? And in Dispenza's book, Evolve Your Brain, Change Your Mind, he said, cells that fire together, wire together. But notice that they have to fire together. And then they wire together. That can happen through walking. But we get the idea, we better run. Well, I found out that this running is really dangerous for your health. Now, you say, oh, what about the knees? Yeah. But I was out on my bike on the Galloping Goose a couple of weeks ago in the pouring rain, and we were out past Happy Valley Road. We're way out there in Machosen, and I saw this guy. He was kind of struggling along and jogging and breathing, and so I just pulled up beside him, and I'm very polite. I said, passing on your left. He goes, what? He was going to have a fight with me. I went, what? No. So he was okay. But a little later, we met the lady he was running with. She said, did you see that? My buddy back there. I said, yeah. She said, I just phoned him and told him he should turn left. I said, well, he was going to have a fight with me. She said, that's not like him. He's usually very calm. I said, there it is. What was he doing? He was mouth breathing. Now you might go, mouth breathing? What's that got to do with anything? If you mouth breathe, that's the fight or flight response. And it activates your adrenal system. And if you ever seen these joggers, they're puffing away like that all the time. The secret is nose breathing. Now you laugh and you go, oh yeah, sure, Vic, nose breathing. Well, I taught my volleyball players to use nose breathing after I read Doolier's book, Body, Sport, Mind, because it calms you and centers you. And then one of the parents came up with an article from Scientific American. He said, look at this, Vic. Lundberg in Sweden had found out if you nose breathe, there's nitrous oxide cells slough off, and guess what? You get more oxygen and improves the elasticity of your arteries. Just through nose breathing. But you got to breathe back out through your nose as well. The secret is walking and nose breathing. You can have a different option on getting older.